about to get underway. Taylor Fritz up against Alexander Zverev. The American will get things going as this stadium starts
Taylor Fritz to serve.
Fill up once more. Best of 5, of course, for a place in the Final 4 here in New York. Big prize on the line today.
Ready.
It's magnificent
Play.
court, bathed in sunshine on a beautiful day in New York City. Taylor's first match on this court, Jimmy, this year. I hear from my American friends that he tends to request to play on Louis Armstrong Stadium, the second biggest stadium. Apparently, that's what I hear. So I can't imagine.
So that's where he plays.
Yeah, I can't imagine it will make too much difference today, will it? I mean, he's used to the biggest stadiums in the world by now.
He should ask to get back out there in Armstrong. Just the rest of the tournament for him will be in Armstrong, even if he makes the finals. It shouldn't make a huge difference, but it is. Every court is a tiny bit different. And this one, the biggest and maybe the loudest court in the world. It seems as though there's always a murmur.
Zverev's played most of his tennis just next door as well in the Armstrong Stadium. Mike Russell, who tends to do the travelling week in, week out with Taylor.
40-15. Game Fritz.
So successful opening service game.
Federer, Nadal.
Yeah, that was the default year for Novak,
Yes,
wasn't it?
That was. So everybody in the draw knew this is my chance to win a major, and it was down to Zverev obviously also recognized that opportunity and made it to the finals and got right to the brink of winning the title. This year in this half of the draw, it's a similar feel.
15 love.
There's no Djokovic, no Alcaraz. And so all 4 of the players left in the bottom half are thinking, if I'm ever going to do it, this is the one.
Of the players left in the bottom half, Zverev is the one who's made a major final before, of course, facing Fritz today, and then Dimitrov and Tiafoe just below them in the draw. So a big match tonight for those two as well.
40 love.
Those two at least have made semis, and Taylor Fritz is the only one whose quarters has as far as he has gone.
Zverev.
So a couple of easy opening holes. I'm guessing that's the sort of pattern you're expecting today, Jimmy. There'll be a lot of big serving on display and some big ground strokes as well.
That is what you expect, but both of these players, because of their height, have nice reach. They make a lot of returns as well. So this isn't just a 1 or 2 shot rally match necessarily, as we See Sasha's father and coach. That's the one shot for Zverev that even in the warm-up, we'd had a little picture of him on the practice courts, and he got a serve to the forehand and he shanked it. So it's the one shot that he can struggle with.
As his brother, Misha, he was warming up with on this court late morning, striking a few balls. It's a pretty mean ball, just Misha still.
If Zverev is feeling it on the forehand wing and second serve, those are the two shots that if he starts feeling pressure, if he loses confidence, those are the two shots where it shows up. If he's hitting his forehand well, I don't see many holes in Zverev's game.
(30-15).
Pretty heavy dose of serve to the forehand for Fritz right now, and that's an interesting thing to me. Do you want to keep going there and keep going there and hoping it just completely breaks down, or do you want to now go to the backhand when you're 40-50 up? Yeah, that's what I thought. And save the serves to the forehand when the game is a little tighter. But if you get that predictable, Zverev might figure it out himself.
40-30. Yes.
A little bit of a scratchy start for Taylor Fritz. 5 unforced errors. Roof is open because it's a beautiful cloudless day.
Advantage, Fritz.
Biggest serve so far, 1-3-4.
Yes.
What's interesting to me is I don't know if there's a difference in speed of court from Ash to Armstrong, but there's been at least 2 forehands now that Fritz was too far in front of. And when you hit the ball a little too far in front, it tends to go long. Timed that one nicely.
Advantage, Fritz.
So if it's too far in front, maybe this court is a fraction slower. Would that
Maybe.
be the theory?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or he's anxious
Yeah.
and nervous,
Let's for serve.
waiting for the heart rate to get down to about 150.
Zverev, the more experienced in terms of Grand Slam quarterfinal matches. There's
Game, Fritz.
first mini test on serve. 2-1. On serve, early stages. Zverev up at the line, 1-2. First set.
15 love.
Clean delivery. 130. He's hit his spot there. If he was serving for tennis ball cans like some of the pros do, he would have demolished that one. Still do that, Jimmy, these days?
Oh, yeah.
Aim at the cans?
Well,
Yeah.
now you get cones.
Okay. Cans are more satisfying because
They
you
are.
crush them, though, don't
they
you?
explode.
Yeah.
Now,
15 all.
that's the dichotomy that you'll get from the Zverev serve. His first serve, the first serve percentage is often high 70s, mid 70%, and he's crushing them His second serve is almost the same percentage. He double faults a decent amount if he tries to hit a second serve. You never think of Taylor Fritz as someone that can improvise. He's more of, I'm just going to hit hard, deep ground strokes over and over again. But that was a little improvisation, and he did it beautifully.
Had a good clay season, Taylor, didn't he, this year?
He's added a little touch, a little bit of work at the net. It still can go south at times when he gets up there, but getting more comfortable.
Right up on the baseline for that return of serve as well.
30.
Too much on the Zverev serve +1 that time.
Get an 8-shot rally with one guy at the net and one at the back, but that's about what just happened.
30-40.
Good little sneak backhand here, and then a series of strange shots. Each player would have felt as though I could do better. I could have done better. I could have done better. And it ended with that backhand volley error.
Chance for Fritz to make the first move in this quarterfinal. It was an opportunity on his favourite wing.
I don't know why he was saying I should have gone down the line. What he should have done is hit it over, cross court, and pick on the same volley Zverev just missed and see what he could do, because Fritz was pretty much right in the center of the court. It would have taken an amazing volley if you dipped it down low to cause any angst.
Advantage Zverev.
Zverev survives his first
2 games all.
tricky game on serve.
Remember earlier we were talking about the court. Is it slower? Is it faster? Well, Paul Anacone, who works with Taylor, sent me a text and said pre-tournament Armstrong was the slowest court here. Ash was the next, then grandstand. So thank you to Paul Anacone for that.
Up to the minutes.
Yeah.
Information.
Interesting, it's very early stages, but there are times when I watch Zverev and I think, boy, it's just so hard to get the ball past him. He moves so well from pretty far behind the court. I don't know if Fritz is hitting it that big, or is Zverev half a step slower than I have seen him at other times. steady diet of missed forehand returns from Zverev. And for Fritz, he's just doesn't want to go to it too much. Got to save that for different times.
It's a really good service game.
Fritz.
Starting to settle now, Taylor Fritz, 3-2. After just a few fans headed outside after the conclusion of the first match of the day session earlier today, an American victory for Emma Navarro over Paula Badosa.
One of the interesting things between these two players is the speed of their ground strokes, as Taylor Fritz hits it about as big as anyone, and he is hitting the forehand much bigger than Zverev right now. 81 miles an hour to 72. It tells you a couple things. That was better from Zverev. What it tells you is when he's nervous, he loses racket head speed on his forehand, and he has started the match slightly nervously. The bad news for Fritz is he hasn't taken advantage of that yet. He had a break chance, didn't convert.
Jumping over his racket. No time to react. A heartfelt apology from Taylor Fritz.
Very heartfelt, yes. Almost enough to say, you know what, you take the point.
So polite, you tennis players.
Push mode for him, where he's not really accelerating on any shot. And Fritz is hitting winners slightly easier than I thought he would be able to. Usually it feels as though you got to hit 4 or 5 great shots to get one past Zverev. Fritz is doing it in 1 or 2 shots often.
This time Zverev coming out on top.
We keep having rallies with one guy at the net and the other guy at the back of the court, and it was a great stab volley. Beautiful backhand overhead attempt from Fritz, but he couldn't get enough on it.
entertaining conclusion to Game 6. Still nothing to separate these two.
Sets.
He's been managing a knee injury since Wimbledon. Assuming that's back to 100% now. It was bothering him the week after. It was touch and go whether he would play the Hamburg event. That's his hometown, of course, so an important week for him, the ATP 500 clay court tournament there, but decided to give it a go. And then was telling the German media that he was struggling physically with something coming into the US Open. Ran a few tests on the body. But it's felt like he's got better and better through the draw, Zverev. A Taylor Fritz missile, that one. 106.
Wow.
Goodness me.
Yeah, that is a full Western grip. Usually when you have that full of a Western grip, you can't flatten it out as well as he does and control it.
39.
Both players with more winners than unforced errors. Many of those unforced errors for Fritz were in the first couple of games. Winners. I didn't think he'd gotten his body in the right position to hit this ball cross court. I think that's what Zverev thought as well. He was reaching a little, as you see, but still controlled it nicely.
It's been a good start from the number 12 seed.
Game Fritz.
Snaps up another service game.
Fritz
in style.
4 games to 3.
He leads 4-3 first set. This Open. E-balls were on serve 3-4. Just the one break point so far.
There's been a couple of backhands from Fritz that he's missed that you don't expect him to miss. There you go.
Tries to go big off the return, just couldn't quite control that one, but
he went really big.
It's been a pattern.
Well, you do want to get into Zverev's head on second serve if you can, because it is vulnerable. He does have matches still. He's gotten over it for the most part, but he does have matches at times where the double faults start to get him.
40 love.
And they tend to show up at big moments.
Game, Zverev. 4
apiece.
games all.
And perhaps not too far away from our first tie break.
Yeah, he has all my records. Point 2, please.
Okay, new restring on its way by the sound of things. John Blom on the phone.
Wait, did he say 0.2?
Something like that, wasn't it?
It's not 1 pound, it's 0.2? That's what he needs?
So 0.2 of a difference compared to what his normal tension would be. Is that what he's saying?
That's what he said, but I didn't know they now string to such a tenth of a, whether it's kilos or I don't know which metric he's using.
Yeah, kilos,
or pounds,
I guess.
Had he had that 0.2 difference, he would have made that forehand, but unfortunately, he doesn't have the new rackets yet.
I'm not sure. 0.2 tighter or looser.
No, we don't actually.
That would give us a clue as to the difference in the court speeds from their perspective. Because both have played most of their matches next door inside Armstrong.
Oh.
30, 15.
Zverev, his dad looking like, how do you miss that backhand? It was just an attempted rally ball. Zverev first said it was the court. He pointed to the court as if it didn't bounce properly and then looked at his racket. It was one of the two.
Fritz leads 5 games
will
to
serve
4
to stay this opening set. Alexander Zverev, the first to come under a bit of pressure, serving at 4-5. Off balance after that return hit.
Love 15.
As I said a moment ago, I think this is a vulnerable game for Zverev because he has served 88, coming into this game, 88% first serve percentage and been banging those serves. It's 127 on our average. And I just felt under pressure he might not make all of them. He's 0 for 2 now on the first. So he's going to have to start winning a few rallies while taking care of the second serve. Wow,
15.
Pretty big second serve there. 114 and awfully close to a double.
Discovers his range.
How big was that second serve?
On a big point.
Yes. Just changed his whole mentality to come up with another beauty now, and perhaps he'll stay relaxed the rest of this game. For
40,
a minute, they
15.
didn't realize you are allowed to change directions with one of your backhands, as they were just 19 shots of backhand to backhand rally there. And if you're Fritz, it's probably not the side you want to try to break down. And under pressure for Zverev, you want to see how the forehand is holding up.
Game. Zverev. 5 games all, first set.
The voices of, I think that's Alexander Zverev's father, and then Jez Green just piping in as well. Jez is back with Zverev, strength and conditioning coach that was with him in the early days. Played a big part in building the Zverev body.
15.
Andy Murray body as well. It was a good appointment, that, wasn't it? Sort of finished the project with Andy Murray as a gangly teenager and took over the same sort of job with Zverev.
Spent a few months with Sebastian Korda as well.
30 now.
I'm not sure what fitness or anything can do for that forehand return, but that was an off-speed first serve, and he flailed at it.
40 now. Game, Fritz.
It's a clean game.
Fritz leads 6 games to 5.
Races into another. Now, did okay when serving at 4-5. Let's see how he gets on this time. 5-6. See how the first serve holds up. A pretty good backhand that got it done.
It was one of those situations where Fritz
Love 15.
doesn't like to be at the net. Came in and said, you know what, I don't want to be here. I want to go back where I like playing. And he goes back and gets a nice enough ball that turned into, for him, a comfortable pass, really.
Don't see that too often, do you? A player playing a first volley and then reversing.
No.
But it worked out. He's
gotten to this love 30 behind 2 returns off first serves. He's doing a much better job getting the return at least back in play off the big first serves. Zverev missing so many forehand returns.
Pressure, the second serve. It's normally when he takes just a little bit longer. He's missed the forehand. Taylor Fritz with 3 golden opportunities here.
Zverev's serve has not been yippy yet. He's not struggling, but his forehand has been. We've already had one American through to the semifinal on the women's side today on this court. Now a set point for another American to take a lead.
was a clean catch, by the way.
15-40.
Kept his eye on the ball.
Well done. Even coming out of the sun into the shadows.
Yeah. It's good technique. Set point number 2. Two solved.
30-40.
I mean, I think if I were Fritz here, I would give him a completely different look on the first return position. So I'd go way back to Medvedev just to put in his mind something about the serve to think. So because we do know if he misses this serve, the second serve will be tricky for him.
Yes.
Flicks up off the frame into the fans' court side.
There's Taylor's father gesticulating wildly in that box, saying, "I told him to use the strings."
All 3 set points saved. Back to Juice.
Advantage, Zverev. Yes.
28 shot rally, and most of those shots hit pretty sharply by Fritz. Zverev is more in just defensive mode, other than hoping he gets a free point with a big serve.
A lone voice from courtside, disrupting Zverev's rhythm. Third time in this game is shanked to return.
Advantage, Zverev.
Ball's left on the court by the.
I was going to say, they do have to give them back here, don't they? Otherwise, we're going to run out very soon. Chance to take us into a tiebreak. Holds from love 40.
6 games all, tiebreak.
That won't be easy for Fritz mentally. Already had triple set point. Didn't put a return in play on any of those. Granted, they were all good serves. Fritz 1 point more than Zverev. Just shows you how close this match had been. He is the only one that's had a break point. He's had 4 of them. So he's had in 2 different games he's had a break point.
Another to the crowd. And it's Zverev who
1-0.
draws first blood.
And does it on one of the few baseline rallies where he was on his front foot, whereas Zverev was in control of the rally. That was the best he hit his forehands with the most power. So mini break for Zverev to start this tie break.
Those players with a winning tiebreak record this season. More than Fritz this year, 24 and 16 his win-loss. Fritz 17 and 10. Whether that will mean anything in a few moments' time, we'll see. Trusty backhand.
2-1. Zverev.
Was a poor drop shot, but it's almost as if it skidded, and you could see it when it landed. It took off a little bit, and so Fritz couldn't crush the forehand. He ended up having to roll it a little, and that roll gave Zverev enough time to get there with the backhand pass. Zverev now leading in the winners. He was behind early on.
Reminder, this is a first to 7 point tiebreak. First to 10 if we go the distance, if we require a decided tiebreak.
You know, you'll probably see a 10-point tiebreak in this match. Judging by the way these two have played against each other, number one, and you see any match that Zverev has lost this year, they've all been 5-setters, majors.
3-2. Fritz.
Takes the 2 points advantage into the change events.
4-2. Fritz.
And Zverev again complaining about his racket, and the tension is he's not getting much on the ball. This match so far has really been up to Fritz. His forehand has been the biggest ground stroke on the court.
Let's.
And again, Zverev
5-2.
gesticulating. It
Fritz.
seems like the racket is the issue. String tension, something bothering him.
I thought he said too tight, which would make the ball not do what it just did, fly long. But perhaps that's because he's thinking, I'm not getting anything on it. I need to swing a little harder.
Yeah. Well, he's in the ascendancy again. Can he turn this into a one-set advantage? He's had those 3 set points, remember, when Zverev was serving 5-6. He'll get a look at a few more now.
6-2, Fritz.
4 more chances to get this done.
Let's whistle.
And he has a 1-set lead.
7-6. Love 15.
First time this tournament, as Jimmy was telling us earlier, he's dropped an opening set.
In the 3rd successive match where he's dropped an opening set. Normally that is not a recipe to continue doing well. Hard to always be playing from behind.
He lost the first set against Echeverry in the 3rd round and against Nakashima in the last 16. Won both of those matches in 4 sets.
I feel like the Echeverry match was a late night affair that they played.
Yeah, 2:30 a.m. I think.
Yes,
that sort of territory when they got done.
It's a little slight opening to start set 2 for Fritz. A little bit of pressure on the Zverev serve again.
Let's whistle.
This is maybe where Taylor should be looking to the forehand return, because he's framed 3 of them on important points. It's a serve that Zverev prefers to hit anyway. If he beats you wide, too good. But don't let him beat you again to the forehand.
It was an apology, wasn't it? Was that not the cleanest of volleys? Not sure.
It must not have been. It looked like he meant to do it.
Yeah, looked pretty good, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think there was an apology after dropping this volley short.
Oh, no, he did mishit it.
Bit of frame.
Yeah. I was wondering how he killed it so nicely. That shows you that the little dump volley, if you can kill it like that, is more effective. He still won the point both ways, but That deep volley that he stuck pretty well, it still gave Fritz a chance to make a pass.
Game, Zverev. First game, second set.
So back to
First
the old
set, Fritz.
routine. Another service hold. We'll reset mentally. Best of.
Antsy, however, a little unsure.
Love 15.
In his last match with Nakashima, Zverev lost the first set and then won fairly comfortably from there. Was
15 all.
Did Zverev raise the level of his game? I know you were on that match. Or did Nakashima's drop, or a little of both?
Yeah, a bit of both, I would say, would be a fair assessment. But it happened very quickly. That was the takeaway. Immediately in the start of the second set, and Zverev got on top, and Nakashima wasn't really particularly competitive after that. Different kind of challenge today, isn't it, against someone like Fritz? Tennis he can produce. Has that one just come back?
It looks like it has. There are a few backhand errors, unforced errors early in the first set. And Fritz cleaned that up as time went on, but he's just made 2 in this game. And put himself under a little bit of pressure. You have to know he's going to serve for the forehand. It was a great serve, so it probably would have been good enough to win the point anyway, but you got to be leaning to the forehand if here's Zverev on an important point, and there again. Yeah, that's both of these players are going to get a heavy dose of forehand returns under pressure.
Game, Fritz. 1 game all second sets.
Still no breaks of serve. Building a good consistency at this tournament. Zverev, just looking at his last few years. So we mentioned the final 2020 as we take another quick look at Mike Russell, and I think that's Wolfgang, part of Taylor's team, just to Mike's right on that shot. Final 2020, semis here in 2021, lost to Djokovic in 5 sets in that semi-final. That was a tight one. Friday night under the lights. Didn't play 2022 because of the ankle injury. Quarters last year, quarters again this year, of course. So
15
the quarterfinals in his last 4 visits to New York. And then you look at this season at the major semis in Australia. As we mentioned, a set away from winning Roland Garros. Was playing well at Wimbledon, was telling everybody it was the best grass court tennis he'd ever played before losing to Fritz in the 4th round. Quarters here, feels like he's getting closer and closer. Is it coming one day, Jimmy, that Grand Slam trophy? It's a tough school, isn't it?
It is. I do think he has the ability. The only question is, will the mind allow him to play to his full potential in the biggest moment and the biggest moments? Maybe it'll have to be a, probably don't remember, but Ivan Lendl lost his first 4 finals. And the one he won, he was getting crushed by John McEnroe, who had already beaten him badly a couple of times earlier that year. It's almost as if the pressure went away from Lendl. He's getting killed again by McEnroe. Gets a set or two, and it was one of the hottest days in Paris. The whole rest of the tournament had been hot, and McEnroe physically wilted. And that is what allowed him to get his first one, and then obviously Lendl won a few more after that.
Okay. Zverev, new ball, please.
For the German. Started this second set well, 2-1.
2 games to 1, second set, first set, Fritz.
Story, that shot.
Well, good stuff from Fritz, because Zverev did finally get a racket back restrung, and at least by the look of those 1 or 2 forehands, he hit them with a little more power and a little more depth. And he did complain about the racket maybe being too tight. And when you think about it today, it's been maybe the coolest day that we've had. Cooler conditions, you would want a little looser racket just to get a little more power. Like it must have been. I didn't hear a call.
Oh, come on, that's ridiculous.
That was ridiculous.
It looked like it was going long. That's why I hesitated, but right on the junction.
I mean, such a physical point, because the entire point, Zverev was being pushed from corner to corner. Look at that thing bending onto both lines.
Incredible. No wonder that's how he reacted.
That's a pretty good reaction from Fritz after that shot. No reaction at all. Just stepped to the line, bounced the ball once, and hit a 120 mile an hour, 28 mile an hour.
And he's just hit one of the shots of the tournament, but it counts the same, doesn't it? It's just 1 point. It's only worth a point. No bonus points in tennis for style. Well, a good response after that incredible pass from
2 games to
Zverev.
all, second
Fritz
set.
straight back to business. Another hold of serve. 2 apiece. A reminder to head to the official US Open website, usopen.org. That's your online home for point-by-point live scoring, highlights, real-time stats, all the draws on there as well as the schedules. That's the official tournament website, usopen.org. We're still waiting for our first break of serve.
It is difficult for these two for a break of serve simply because they seem almost so evenly matched from the back of the court, and both servers, when they're getting the first serve in, they have such an advantage to start the point. They get free points or they get a weak reply. So both players waiting for just one service game where a lot of first serves are missed. You get a lot of looks at a second serve. That's the game you got to take advantage of. A little bit surprised at how well Zverev's done on his second serve. Now, granted, he's only hit 1 double fault. And he's hit a couple of big second serves. And he's 8 of 13. He's made 62% of his second serve points even.
There was no call there.
30-15.
In his mind, that was out. But the cameras and the
well, when these two played in the juniors, he would have called that one out. Even the juniors now can't. It's all electronically called.
(40-15).
Fritz moving in the wrong direction. Another hold, 3-2.
Zverev leads by 3-2, second set. First set, Fritz. (15-love).
He's missed a few more serves than Zverev so far, but the German hasn't really been able to turn those looks at second serves into anything too special so far.
Seems so seldom that the server lately has been falling behind. They jump out to 30 love every game seemingly quickly. And maybe a loose point or two, but always feels as though the server has had the edge. Zverev yet to even see a break chance.
There we go. Big serve under pressure. Produces another hold of serve.
3 games all, second sets.
Сильно бей. Там же принимай. Ты не бьешь по мячу.
Fritz playing his 5th Grand Slam quarterfinals, 0-4 his record. It was Musetti who beat him in his most recent Grand Slam quarterfinal. That was at Wimbledon on the grass. Musetti making his first semi-final.
There's definitely been a couple of disappointing. He did beat Nadal, excuse me, lost to Nadal, I believe, at Wimbledon in the quarterfinals, and Nadal was injured enough that he didn't play the semi.
That's right, was due to play Kyrgios, wasn't it, in the semis? And wasn't 100%. I think that's the one that probably
that
hurt
one and
Taylor
Musetti,
the most.
both of those two. Obviously, Nadal is Nadal still, and if he finishes the match and you have to beat him, not easy. Musetti on grass. Fritz would like his chances more than 50% of the time in that matchup.
Yeah, it was 6 in the 5th against Rafa,
30 love.
deciding tiebreak. Can't remember whether that was back in the days of first to 10. I think it was. I think it was 10-4. Nadal came through that. Taylor was up 2-1 against a Nadal who wasn't fully fit, so that's why that was a painful defeat. Lost to Djokovic in his other 2 major quarterfinals, US Open and one down in Australia. Beautiful.
$13-15.
Well, had to guess here, Fritz, and you can see he guessed just a half click early, and Zverev didn't see him. Still had to come up with a beautiful pass.
Is he starting to turn this 7th game around?
101-mile-an-hour forehand. He just absolutely roasted. And that was all. He had no pace to work with. That was all him generating because it was off of a miss hit. Here's an important point with the second serve to come. Keep waiting for Zverev's second serve to show the cracks that it often does, but we haven't seen it yet.
got to be kidding me.
No, all that means is he was so tight. He knows his second serve kick isn't going in. So I'm just going to go big as I can. He hit that almost as fast as any serve he's hit.
133. His fastest serve today, 135. That's a second serve.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He knew if he tried a kicker, it was going to go into the bottom of the net. So if I'm going to double fault, do it with style. And it worked out. I expect this one to be a second serve now that he's got game point.
A proper second serve.
Yes. Not a first serve again and hope. No, he went big again.
So he is feeling it in this 7th game. It's a mental test.
This is where, for him, it's strange because he does serve in the 70 to 80% range first serve percentage. Would you take something off, spin it, give your safest serve? I mean, I'd probably rather him served wide to the forehand here. Because that's his favorite serve, and he hit it perfectly.
Advantage, Zverev.
First serve percentage has dropped off dramatically in this second set for Zverev, just 45% at the moment. Fritz is not too impressive either, 47.
And yet they're still holding every time.
Zverev.
And right on cue, another hold of serve.
Zverev leads 4 games
German
to 3
ahead,
second set.
4-3.
That's frustrating for Zverev. That was an 89-mile-an-hour second serve right in the slot. Too many free points off those type of serves.
That's better.
15 all.
Something to build on here. As you've been saying, Jimmy, it feels like the server just so often 15 love, 30 love, and then
maybe they'll get to 40-30 possibly, but it always feels as though the server has had the edge. Here's a little bit of a chance for Zverev to create some pressure.
He was talking lately about he's promised to himself that he's never going to break another racket on court. I was listening to that interview. I think it was at the start of Cincinnati, just coming into the US Open. That was very carefully done.
Well, he was about to and remembered the promise.
It's a great point.
30 all.
Feels though if Zverev could ever just let his full game flow, you would see a few more points like that, where his backhand is so good. He could take it early. He could put it on a dime. He's
draws the error, and finally a look at a break point for Zverev.
30-40.
And if he doesn't break here, he missed a second serve routine return and a rally backhand where he wanted to throw his racket down and didn't. He really could be out of this game. He's played a couple of brilliant points.
Zverev.
And Zverev takes charge of set number 2.
Zverev leads 5 games to 3 second sets.
You knew that Fritz was going to pepper the forehand of Zverev. He served there. Zverev was already waiting for it. He hit nothing but forehands. It's got to be a strange feeling knowing, oh, I know, everyone knows you're hitting to my forehand over and over again and not letting it affect it. He made every forehand that time. And it was the Fritz forehand that faltered in the end.
So can he serve it out to level the match at 1 set apiece? It's a lovely pickup. To be really careful that he took enough pace off that.
15 love.
When he has come in, he's done some pretty nice work, and this was another example of it. That was not an easy half volley. Fritz got there, I think, a little more comfortably than he thought he might have. He might have been able to do more with that.
Ace number 7 for the German. Draws level with Fritz in that respect today. Brings up 2 set points. Where Fritz just changes the pace all of a sudden.
40-30.
Yeah, he's beaten him a few times with just sheer pace and also not easy to read, or at least Zverev hasn't been reading it particularly well, so he gets a late jump. Still a set point.
Zverev levels the match. Will be pleased with the way he's bounced back.
1 set all. 15 love.
So can Zverev carry the momentum that he's built into the start of the third set? It was a satisfying way to level the match.
30 love.
It did seem as though when he got the racket that was strung a little bit looser, that he's getting a little more depth on the ball, and he did. His forehand went from 76 miles an hour to 78 miles an hour in that second set. And remember, early in the match, it was at 72 miles an hour for the first 5 or 6 games. So slowly building confidence on his forehand, and that's not great for Fritz, because that was a comfortable get out of trouble play for him. Just serve to the forehand, get a few to the forehand, and you'll be good enough.
Zverev trading forehands impressively that time.
Yeah, 2 points in a row where he's hitting the forehand big. And that, I think, is the edge that Zverev has over Fritz, is just defensive ability and speed. There's just...
That's a nice move. Nice crisp volley.
40.
Well, would you believe it? Here we are again, Jimmy. We waited for what, a good hour and a half for a Zverev break point.
And now he gets break point every game. It'll be 2 in a row. And Fritz has to save one.
Huge from Fritz. Took the risk and was rewarded. It's a tricky overhead, actually, midway through the points as well. Had to get back quickly.
Tricky overhead, tricky swinging volley when you're feeling a little bit of pressure. Again, that what I was getting at earlier was, it just feels as though Zverev can steal a few points with the way he defends. He can, and I don't know that Fritz has gotten much better at that, but it's still not a strength.
Still work to do. Juice.
Advantage, Fritz.
Not easy to combat what he just had. Fritz, beautiful serve out wide. Zverev was ready for it, but he was pulled so far out. There's a lot of room for Fritz to hit into, and he did it perfectly.
Impressive hold of serve in the end. He spent the entire week standing up at the change of ends. Obviously didn't want to get into that.
It's a similar thing.
Painful
here.
position.
Yeah.
Just kept on moving. Sometimes see that, don't you, when players are starting to cramp up. They don't want to get into one of those chairs and not be able to get back out. I know the feeling, but it's got nothing to do with tennis.
Hopefully we get enough electrolytes and he can finish this match.
He's played a lot of tennis, Zverev, this year. Leads the tour in match wins. He's up to a #2 in the race, incidentally. It reflects how successful this season has been. Masters 1000 champion again in Rome. That was on the clay.
Brave hold to start set 3 for Fritz, and now he's got a little bit of scoreboard pressure on this Zverev serve. It's been very impressive work up at the net from Zverev when he's gotten up there. A couple of times when Fritz has had a pretty easy look at a pass, and Zverev has guessed right and knocked the volley off. It's amazing you're talking about Zverev #2 in the race. #3 in the race has won 2 majors this year in Alcaraz. Strange that he's not somewhere in those top 2. Sinner at 1.
Yeah, that win over Nakashima for Zverev confirmed his place at the ATP finals at the end of the season in Turin. So he'll be back at the season-ending finale.
15-14.
Bit of turbulence in this contest. Early doors in the 3rd. Fritz under pressure, now Zverev under pressure.
Great serve, almost a good stab from Fritz.
Second chance to break.
Again, I hate harping on this, but second serve for Zverev on a break point. Will he go for the big 1-2 first serves?
The first break of serve today for the American.
Fritz leads by 2 games to love. 3rd set.
Having come so close to going down a break in this 3rd set, it's Fritz who is on top early. To race into a 3-0 lead with a quick hold of serve here.
15 love.
Can't imagine we're going to see too many breaks today, so could well prove to be a decisive break, even though it's so early in the set.
To be broken, you would pick the first game of the set, so at least that's the consolation prize for Zverev. He's going to have 4 chances, theoretically, to get the break back if he manages to hold every time himself. I do think Zverev is hitting the ball better towards the end of set 2, and even though he's down a break here, he's hitting the ball with more pace and a little more depth. Early on, it was really Fritz's match. It was on his racket. He was determining one way or the other who was winning.
40-15.
That percent's not going to stay at 92 for Fritz. For the match, he's at 66%.
The second first serve he's missed so far in this third set. And it's been a really good response after losing the second.
New balls leads.
3-0 lead.
Fritz leads 3-2 third set, 1-set all.
Indeed, yeah. Zverev wandered back to his baseline twice, actually. Once and then remembered he hadn't changed his racket, so a fresh set of strings for the German to take on game number 4. Normally the routine for these players. Once the balls are changed. Just looking at his record in major quarterfinals, he's got a very good record actually. 8 out of the 12 he's played won. 2 out of 2 this year.
How many of those has he been the favorite in a ranking situation? Most of them?
Yeah, just casting my eye down. Most recent ones beat Alcaraz in Australia, so arguably not
there
in that one. Although it was early in the season, obviously maybe slightly more unpredictable. De Minaur at the French Open, so would have been expected to win that one. Lost to Alcaraz here last year. That was routine, 3-2 and 4. And 4 before that. 3 out of 4, I would say he was expected to win. Davidovich, Fokina at Roland Garros 2021. Lloyd Harris here 2021. Yes, the South African, excuse me.
40-15.
Alcaraz Roland Garros, that was 2022, and Thomas Martin Etcheverry Roland Garros 2023. So yeah, a few of those who would have been expected to win, as I guess he is today if you look at the rankings.
He is. No, the reason I brought that up is some of those semis I would have assumed are quarters during the big 3 days, and it was hard to get a quarter where you're not playing Djokovic, Nadal, or Federer.
3-1, third set.
Pleased with that hold of serve. Just a reminder to stay connected on the social channels: Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and WhatsApp. This year, join the conversation with hashtag US Open.
Set 3, Taylor Fritz is not just getting more first serves in, but he's hitting them 3 miles an hour harder, and he's hitting his second serve bigger as well. I think part of the reason for that is he recognizes that Zverev's hitting his ground strokes better. So he's feeling a little pressure to win points right with his serve or with serve +1. And that backhand goes long, and it's a little pressure again on the Fritz serve. He got out of his first service game, saving a break point with a swinging volley, a tough overhead. That is a play that seems to be open to him, where he gets the serve out wide enough. Fritz, Zverev then pulls the return a bit cross court, sitting there for Fritz. We've seen that serve +1 in that exact pattern a few times.
His chance, and again
15-14.
a couple of opportunities here for Zverev.
It's funny is the forehand does break down at times, but technically there's nothing that you would point to say this is why. It's just he doesn't always trust it, so he doesn't always swing way back for the second serve return here. Which invites a wide serve.
And there's the break back.
Fritz leads 3-2.
3-2.
Third set, 1-set all.
Two this evening and then the same tomorrow on this court. And then a nice break for whoever wins this match, isn't it? Because they're back
15
Friday to play the semis.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah.
It's almost too long. You get into a rhythm every other day.
And then 2 days off. Try not to get distracted by New York City on your doorstep. Something that Jack Draper has been telling us the last few days. Trying to keep things simple this year, conserve energy. Stay in his hotel room as much as he can. It's not easy in New York.
15.
One of the most electric, vibrant cities in the world. It's working so far for Jack, though. Here's de Minaur tomorrow.
Draper hasn't lost a set. He hasn't even gotten to 7-5. As he has been dominant by staying in his hotel room and playing tennis, and that's it.
He's lost serve once in the tournament as Jack, lefty. 47 of 48 service games won.
You can feel this momentum swinging against Taylor Fritz. It's just all of a sudden Zverev is hitting the ball with more pace and more depth, and he's not making too many unforced errors, and it's difficult for Fritz. He hit some beautiful shots throughout that rally, but he's not gaining an edge from those shots the way he was early in the match.
position with that
3
trusty
games all,
backhand.
third sets.
And he completes the recovery in this third set. Set apiece, 3 games apiece.
Set 3, all of a sudden Zverev's forehand 83 mile an hour average now. Started the match at 72. He's up 11 miles an hour and more consistent, if anything. His backhand has stayed at 75. Very steady, the same backhand throughout, but it's a forehand from Zverev showing that he's gaining confidence as the match wears on.
And as an opponent, if you're Fritz, you're starting to feel that, presumably.
You definitely are. I don't know if it's the pace. Yes, you're feeling the pace, but it's the length, the depth. There's more depth now, and so Fritz had it pretty easy. He could hit a heavy ball to the forehand and then get a shortish ball that he could take advantage of with his forehand. Those kind of plays are drying up a little, so now Fritz feeling a little extra pressure on his serve, trying to do more with his serve.
Mike Russell recognizing his man. Just needs a bit of extra encouragement here. The fans too. Quickly behind the American, love 15. Perhaps everybody sensing inside the stadium that there's a shift.
Difficult. I think the crowd does sense it, and the thing that's difficult for Fritz, what you have to not let seep into your mind, is that quarterfinals again. Oh no, I won the first set. I was up a break in the third. Don't let it slip away again. So far, through most of the adversity that we've seen, Fritz has bounced back pretty well. Forget the first set, he had triple set point at 5-6. It didn't convert and still won the tiebreak. That mentally shows you've got some fortitude.
Distracted by Zverev moving forward.
40-15.
One shot I've seen a lot this week is that drop shots, and the ball, players get there easily, and it's almost as if the ball skids a little faster than they expect, and they've missed that shot often. Fritz did a nice job that time.
That was very closer than he expected it to be, but he's come through the game. He's up 4-3.
Fritz leads 4-3, third set.
Sharp end, if you like, of this third set. Zverev playing catch-up, serving second, 3-4.
Oh. 15.
Semi-finalist in Cincinnati, coming into the US Open. Had a good week there on the quick courts in Cincy. It's a Masters 1000 tournament, won by Sinner eventually. But actually, it was a very, very tight defeat to Sinner in the semi-finals, 7-6, 5-7, 7-6. Maybe one of those weeks where you walk away not feeling too despondent after a defeat, knowing that you're very, very close to a win over the
depends how that match ends, that kind of match. So yes, if you played a great match and a great player just comes up with something special at the end, then you feel pretty good about yourself. If you threw in a couple doubles or missed a sitter overhead, then you're a little bit tougher to get over.
Just threw him off rhythm, the net cord.
4 games all.
So sets all 4-all. Crucial phase of this match.
Doesn't look to me as though Fritz loves it when Zverev backs way up for that second serve return. And I don't know why he doesn't serve wide. That's the second time from way back there he's gone down the tee.
30-15.
Himself just to get through this game and put Zverev under pressure at 4-5.
So again, Zverev backing way up. You got to just go ahead and give him the kicker, even though it's his backhand.
Oh, he's missed it again.
30-all.
Second double of the game. You might be onto something there, Jimmy. Bit of anxiety amongst the Taylor Fritz team now. Big moments these.
He's hit 2 big tee serves in the deuce court the first 2 points of this game.
Stage of this match.
These two have had some unbelievable exchanges. That was so physical. And then we get to this part of the point. After we've already been through a barrage barrage of big shots. That lucky stab from Zverev allowed him to get that sitter volley.
I mean, that first volley, there weren't too many strings involved with that.
That was just running the wrong direction, sticking the racket out, and it hits the end of it and dribbles over.
So what a moment. Break point at 4-all. Set apiece. Touch on the tentative side. Fritz escapes for now.
Advantage, Fritz.
This would be a massive hold if Fritz gets out of this game. And if you remember, he started this set in a difficult situation, saved a break chance, and then broke the next game.
Terrific effort under severe pressure there.
Fritz leads.
Gets himself into a 5-4 lead.
Once and all.
Television business.
Starts for Fritz. Makes a big difference winning that first point.
And coming off the game that he just came off of. This is a difficult hold for Zverev now.
And there's the evidence.
Love 30.
How the tension can creep into the game. These stages of these big matches. Fritz could be in business here. 2 points away from stealing this set. Goodness me.
Love 40.
In the blink of an eye, Fritz with 3 chances to go up 2-1.
Set one, same position, triple set point. He didn't make a return, and Zverev got out of the game. I said that because there's still that opportunity. If Zverev hits 3 bombs off the line, which he's capable of doing, he's going to get right back to do so. Fritz's job here is be a goaltender and put the ball in play. And if you can get it to the forehand, even better.
Two saved. One more chance.
He got the return in play. You got to hand it to Zverev. He had to hit 4 or 5 forehands, and he did accelerate. He did finish those strokes. I still say protect against the tee here, and if he beats you out wide, then your hat's off to him. But don't let him beat you with his favorite serve if you're Fritz.
All 3 disappear. And we're back to deuce.
Deuce.
Gotta love Fritz's attitude. Just lost those 3 points. You see the little discouraged, and then immediately told himself, no, come on. Jumped up and down. Let's go.
Good aggressive tennis. Again, it was the forehand, wasn't it? Started to take a few chances early in the points.
Yeah, and then that was the one that was sort of almost funny in some ways. He's totally in control of the point. Just come in and knock off the volley, and he says, no, I'd rather hit 2 or 3 more ground strokes as hard as I can.
So, set point number 4.
Great irrelevant return from Taylor Fritz.
Nice, but this next one is the one that counts.
Yes. Again, 4 straight serves now down the tee in the ad on the big points. Does Zverev have the nerve to go out wide? Because Fritz has been leaning on it the last couple of points.
That's pretty cool. Big serve.
Yes.
132. That's just 3 miles an hour off his fastest today. 4 set points saved. Down onto Zverev's toes, nothing he could do.
Advantage.
Fritz hits that shot really well. That was, you could see it setting up for that shot as well when the approach happened. Set point number 5. He's hit every serve tee on this side since love 40.
Let's for service.
What do you think would happen if Fritz just walked over to the middle and put his racket back and said, you're going here, I know it, you know it. When he tried to serve out wide.
Taylor Fritz. He's a
6
set
games to 4
from a US Open semi-final.
Fritz leads by 2 sets to 1.
In the US Open semi-final, his first Grand Slam semi-final. That's the size of the prize today.
That was a very contentious end to set number 3. So the last 2 games had so much drama. There were so many ebbs and flows. Fritz manages to win both on, was it his 5th set point? On his 5th set point. That often someone can have a letdown to start the next set. And that's where, if you're Fritz, you got to try to make sure it's not you. Beautiful stuff. This well-controlled backhand with depth.
Zverev, you know you've got to go the distance now. Should be okay physically, shouldn't it? I think.
14-15.
You know, you're drawing on the energy reserves, but it's not a day like we had midway through the first week, is it? The Wednesday, where a 5-set match would be really challenging.
Tough, yes.
2.5 hours for 3 sets, so not. Crazy long there. 5-set standards.
First game, 4th sets.
No, it's interesting because when they have had some of the rallies, they've been very physical. But both of them serve so well that there's rests in between those very physical points. So you can recover with a couple of big serves and get your breath back. It's not often that they have a 25-shot rally followed by another one. It's not quite Djokovic Murray or Djokovic Nadal, where every point seemed to be an absolute grind.
Mentioned 1 or 2 times, obviously, Jimmy, it's a big day for Fritz because he's looking for a first major semi-final, and that will be something he desperately craves at this stage of his career. He's been top 10 before, of course, well inside the top 10. Masters 1000 champion. Net play from Zverev. So does that
30 love.
Getting over that hurdle come into play in this 4th set? Is that going to play a part, do you think?
It could.
That's what Zverev's hoping, right?
Yeah, it could.
Guess we'll
especially because he's lost 4.
Yeah.
So that's where it really starts to get to you, and because people will talk about it. People like you will say, hey, he's lost 5 in a row. Give me your thoughts on that.
5-setter against Musetti as well. That was the most recent at Wimbledon. And he's been in this position before, up 2-1. That was against Nadal, the match we were talking about earlier. 2022 at Wimbledon. Lost those last 2 sets, 7-5, 7-6.
New balls, please. 1 game all, 4 sets.
He will. Because he's kind of been the leader in other respects, hasn't he? Winning that Masters 1000 title in Indian Wells.
Getting to top 10. All the way up to 5.
15 love.
First of them to play at the season-ending championships as well, I think I'm right in saying.
30 love.
Well, at the end of today, if Fritz can finish this match off, Francis Tiafoe finds a way to win at night, we will have an American finalist. Still a long way and a lot of ifs.
To this fourth set very nicely indeed.
2 games to 1 full set, and by
Good sign for the Americans fans. 2-1.
Oh. 15 love.
Possibility of an American reaching the final, as you were saying, Jimmy, with Francis Tiafoe in action tonight. Plays Grigor Dimitrov. He had a good win over Rublev previous round. Just looking at the most recent American finalist in the men's singles.
30 love.
Is it Roddick?
It is. Yeah.
That seems like a while ago now.
2006, lost to Federer. Of course, Andy Roddick won in 2003, beat Alcaraz's coach, Juan Carlos Ferrero, in that final. It's about this time of year that I tune into US television and I see Andy Roddick popping up on a frequent basis, getting asked the same question over and over again. So who's going to be the next American?
Well, hopefully for
US
him, he
Open
doesn't
singles
turn
champ?
into Fred Perry. As it was for Andy Murray at Wimbledon. I mean,
77 years, I think it was.
That was just too much pressure for most British players to cope with.
40-15.
It's been a strange experience for Andy Murray, wasn't it? Sitting back home or wherever he is at the moment, watching Grand Slam tennis.
If he's like every other tennis player that's ever lived,
early retirement,
he's watching, saying, "Man, I should have been playing. I think I could beat these guys."
Recently retired after the Olympic Games, of course, Andy. Played his last Wimbledon a few weeks ago.
Did you think he should retire at Wimbledon, or do you think it was the right play to go play the Olympics?
Well, in hindsight, I think it was the right play because
it got exciting.
Incredible drama.
It did get exciting.
Playing doubles with Dan Evans. And I guess he got the best of both worlds, didn't he, with the send-off and the nice ceremony and the video with all the greats involved. Former players on courts, playing doubles with his brother as well, which was significant. One more Olympic experience as a two-time gold medalist. Here comes Fritz in game 4. This could be a significant moment if he can sneak another break.
This was a routine hold in the making at 40-15, and a big return and a double fault, and all of a sudden a pressure point for Zverev.
Advantage, Zverev.
And stays in touch. USOpenshop.org is the official home for 2024 US Open merchandise. Get your game face on and your game day fit on too with US Open gear. All the accessories for the whole family. That's the US Open shop at usopenshop.org.
15 love.
I was eyeing up a US Open bucket hat earlier today. I might return over the next few days. Treat myself. Not that the sun ever shines in the UK, but
that's true. You don't need one.
Keeps the rain off.
That has happened too many times for Zverev's liking. That was a nothing second serve again. 82 that he rolled in. You can't miss that return when you're standing in the fence.
Half chance now for Zverev early in the fourth. Goes back to the well with that serve out wide to the deuce court.
It does. When you look at these two's serve profile, both of their fastest serves are 135, but their average serve is 126 for Zverev, only 118 for Fritz. Because he uses that quite a bit, and he doesn't go with pace.
Gets himself ahead once more. It's not too far away from entering that uncomfortable phase of this fourth set, given he's trailing 2-1 and serving second, so always playing catch up.
And the other thing to remember is he has served to stay in a set 3 times. 4-5 in the first set, 5-6 in the first set, and then 4-5 in the third set. 2 of those 3 games he fell behind love 40 with 3 very quick, nervous errors. So he doesn't want to find himself 4-5 in this set. Beautifully at times today.
30-15.
26 of 32 when he gets up to the net. He's winning 81% of the points. More often than not, he's had to hit volleys.
30 all.
Just got through complimenting Zverev, his work up at the net.
30-14.
That one wasn't quite as sharply put together from the approach and through the volley. Wow, 2 of 11 for Fritz, but that's partly because he's at a love 40. He didn't convert, and 4 break points before finally converting on a 5th. A different game. Gotta hand it to Fritz because Zverev went with the big serve out wide, and he hasn't done that at all. I would have been aced. I would have been already in the middle of the court covering the tee. So good job from Fritz to put that ball in play and be even in the rally through much of it.
Back to deuce. Big 6th game of this 4th set. Opportunity that you will feel
Fritz.
There for the taking right here. That's what the team feels. No, he's so close.
I want them to get this return right down the center. Think about your target. That was the instruction. First thing you got to do is get your racket on the serve.
Getting the sort of performance he was hoping for.
That was one of the first times you got a sense Fritz got a little tight. Because when he's had the opportunities with forehands, he's ripped.
Advantage, Zverev.
Equal biggest today. They've both hit 1-3-5 serves. Zverev gets himself over the line, and you never know when those sort of holds of serve can be important moments in these matches. Was that another stringing instruction?
Yes, that was a .1.
Wow.
If anyone can field .1, my hat's off to you.
Zverev preparing for a 5th set then.
Yeah, good point.
Should he get himself there?
Yeah. Takes about 20 minutes to get a racket strung.
arm strokes for the last 3 hours.
From closer to the baseline than Zverev also. He can take balls right off the ground on a half volley almost bounce and still rip.
Sometimes difficult, isn't it, to put that previous game to the back of the net. They're so close to winning. It's a Grand Slam quarterfinal.
No question. It's been difficult for Zverev in this match. The games where he's had break chances and didn't convert, he's lost his serve the next game. It happened to him twice in set 3. Fritz, from a mental standpoint, other than he got a little tight on a forehand break point in the last game, he's been a giant. He's had many moments to have letdowns or normally momentum swings, and he hasn't really allowed it to happen.
Fabulous replay looking at that previous forehand.
Game.
Lost himself into that strike. That's a quick game. That's another good sign.
Fritz
4-3. It's getting closer. Not coming back.
That was fairly calm from Zverev off of shots where I would have thought he felt as though he'd hit a winner off the serve, off the first overhead. And that wasn't the easiest volley. Excuse me, overhead from right around the baseline. Handled it as if it was nothing. Considering the score, especially.
30-15.
A really interesting point you made maybe 10 minutes ago or so, Jimmy, about how Zverev's performed under pressure today. Late in sets when he's been serving.
To stay in sets.
Yeah.
Yes, that's...
Well, not too far away from the same scenario in this fourth set. Impressive stuff. He's got another half chance coming up.
30 all.
Fritz, not known for his conventional volleys, but he's hit a number of these swinging forehand volleys. Even under pressure, he times that ball really well. Fritz has had 11 winners and 3 unforced errors in this set, so it's been a very clean set. Zverev's done well just to stay even.
Stands firm.
4 games all, full sets.
So here we go again into different kind of territory in the fourth set.
This is when it all got a little crazy in set number 3. Fritz saved the break point and then broke.
Love.
12 of 12 when he gets the first serve in this set.
Let's second serve.
Controlled aggression towards the end of the point.
30 love.
He can inject pace all of a sudden, Fritz, with that forehand. Nice rally ball, and then all of a sudden, a little extra whip. Starts to push Zverev back.
Love.
These games, have a healthy lead, finish them off quickly, get into the sit down, and then let Zverev worry about holding serve.
It's time for the 135 down the tee. Sit in your chair.
So Zverev will serve to stay in the tournament.
Fritz leads 5 games to 4.
All eyes on the German in a few moments' time.
15.
Impressive start, 1-3-3 up the tee.
Exactly what he needed if he wanted to stay in the tournament. Come out and not have to hit a forehand. 2 big serves.
Let's listen.
We've had some shots that count for nothing that crowd has gotten excited about. Behind the back return from Fritz earlier, and that catch from Zverev.
This is seriously good serving. good.
5 games all.
Very composed service game. And on we go. Maybe we'll need another tiebreak to settle this 4th set.
You see how hard Zverev hit that forehand when the point was over, and it was also in. He's hit a couple of backhands when it's 40 love, and he knows the game is over, where he's crushed them for winners. I think he'd ever get himself to be able to do that when it's a point that matters.
The pressure quickly switches back down the other end of the court. Even if you're up 2-1, this becomes a tricky service game. Beautiful.
30-15.
It really was. Great serve, good return. He made Fritz come up with another shot, and he came up with a beauty inside out backhand angle approach.
Threatening to make a move here, Zverev.
Yeah, again, this is the type of power I'm talking about, when he wants to. One time it was Zverev injecting pace with his forehand and finishing with a swinging volley.
Both performing well when moving forward in this 4th set. 30-all. Another game.
New balls, please.
And once more, a game away from a place in the semis here in New York.
6-5. 4th set, and by 2-1.
Once more, it's all eyes on the number 4 seed, Alexander Zverev. He's back in must-hold serve territory here. To just sneak forward and maybe finish things off with a volley, but in the end he didn't need to.
Love 15.
Or want to. He never wants to sneak in and finish with a volley, even when it seems the sensible thing to do. But this is the start he needed. Zverev has served well when he's been ahead. Struggles a little if he falls behind in a game. You've got to give him a forehand there to deal with.
Frustrated. A couple of misses now.
30-15.
Try and make it as difficult as possible.
That was an opportunity. These last 3 points, he's been in play all 3. And just missed routine rally ball, backhands into the tape.
Carefully done.
40-15.
So into a breaker. Zverev doing a better job
6 games all,
under
both
pressure
set
than he did
tiebreak.
in sets 1 and 3 in similar sort of territory, serving under pressure late in the sets. And here we go.
Under pressure still, because we're now in a tiebreak. He's lost the first set tiebreak. Fritz, perhaps for the first time, played a little tight in that last game. We haven't seen him play tight. He's been one that's been brave, going for big forehands in important moments.
This crowd recognizing how big this tiebreak is for Taylor Fritz.
1-0 Fritz.
Agonizingly close to a spot in the semi-finals.
Please.
Just wide, I think.
I thought it missed.
Difficult to hear the call, it did.
2-0.
Big screens, just a fraction wide. So
I've never seen someone get away more with running inside the service line, hitting a ball, and running all the way back and still winning the point. He's done it a couple times, and he did it again, Fritz.
you don't teach that play, Jimmy.
I usually tell you, once you're up there, you might as well stay.
Perfect start for the American.
2-1. Fritz.
Close to his biggest serve, just 1 mile an hour off.
And needed. Now there's very little room for him. I find it hard to believe he can get out of this if he gets down 2 breaks.
This big crowd pushing him towards the finish line. Getting closer.
Didn't go massive with the serve. Threw in the old faithful. Serve out wide at about 112 to the forehand. And he's gotten a lot of errors off of that return from Zverev. Now Zverev really needing both of these service points.
Yeah, best case scenario, switching into 2-4. He's been able to do that. A big difference, isn't there, between 1-5 and 2-4. He's still in touch.
He's still in touch, but again, these 2 service points were musts for him. Starts the first one with an ace. His second straight ace.
Taylor Fritz. It's a shot that has worked so well today, that big forehand. This time he did get forward.
We have seen that type of point, 24-shot rally, often in this match. And it's eventually Zverev gets a little too central and a little too short with a backhand that he's trying to hit cross court. And that's when Fritz takes over with his forehand. And you're right, he actually hit a conventional volley to finish that point. And this match is on Taylor Fritz's racket.
Missed by a long way.
Not a great sign.
Misses the forehand. There has to be tension.
5-3.
Such a big deal, isn't it?
There's no question the first serve sent the message that he's feeling tense, and that forehand, he almost had the look of, I don't want to stay in a rally. I want to hit a winner right now.
Absolutely agree.
So he needs this first serve to work.
Again, it missed by a mile. Maybe there's more drama around the corner. This time. Routine ball for a guy with such a good backhand.
That's the interesting part about it. He knows his opponent's getting tight, so now you think he just makes sure you make every ball. He's blaming the racket. Whatever it is, it's triple match point.
please. Thank you.
South Thrash Stadium crowd doing everything they can.
Yeah, they really are. Trying to make this second serve even more difficult.
Taylor Fritz.
3-1, 7-6, 3-6, 6-4,
He's a Grand Slam semi-finalist at last. That is a big, big win. First time into the Final Four of the major, and it's come on home soil.
You can see how much he wanted that, and it's not only that he's in a semifinal. It's that he's maybe the favorite to get to the final because it's either Tiafoe or Dimitrov next. So for Taylor Fritz, he was playing the only guy in this half that had been to a final in the past. He took care of him in 4 sets. He won a bunch of